What's up guys? Today I'm going to teach you how to make a video like this one. Alright, so let's get started. The first one we're going to talk about is the rotating picture frame effect. So all I have for this one is just one single clip of the picture frame. The picture frame is already on the wall and it's straight. So what I'm going to do is click on the video, hit the three dots and do duplicate as layer. Now I'm going to click on the layer video, go under split screen, and I'm going to scale it up so it's a little bit bigger than normal. So as you can see off to full screen, it's a little bit bigger. Alright. Next, with the layer selected, we're going to go to the cropping tool. I'm going to turn on the mask, and I'm going to select the rounded edges square. We can turn up the feather. I'm going to go ahead and crop it in. And we're going to select just around the picture frame, leaving enough room so that we can add feathering. Next, we're going to keyframe it so that it can look like it's rotating. So we're going to click on the keyframe icon on the left, and I'm going to rotate it a bit left. As you can see, a little bit of the picture frame from the video beneath it is showing a little bit. So we're just going to rotate as much as we can, and I'm actually going to scale up the video again so that the picture frame is a little bit larger than normal. Alright, next we're going to keyframe it to rotate. So we're going to start at the very beginning of the clip, and with the keyframe icon selected, it's going to create a keyframe in the very beginning. So we're going to go ahead and skip to the part we want it to start rotating. For me, I'm watching the wand, and I'm going to position it right before the wand starts moving, and I'm going to add a keyframe. And now I'm going to go to the position when I want the photo to be fully upright and straight, and I'm going to add another keyframe there. So now KineMaster does the rest, and the picture is rotating. And that's the first effect. Also, throughout this whole video, make sure to go ahead and lower the volume or click the mute icon to get rid of any audio that you don't need. Alright, so the next effect is the floating book. So as you can see, I have one really long take here on the timeline, so I'm going to go ahead and split it up into chunks. The first one is where I had my wife Allison move to the side, so we have just a blank space on the right side of the frame, and we're going to use that to cover up my body because I'm going to be standing there holding the book. So we're going to go ahead and find the exact moment I want to split the clip, and we'll choose split at playhead. Next, we're going to go to the moment we want our actual video clip to start. So about right here, and I'm going to trim to left of playhead, and same thing for the ending, we can trim to right of playhead. So the first thing we're going to do is take the video clip that has that empty space that we're going to use pretty much as our background, and we're going to duplicate as layer. And we're going to hold and drag it over to our main video clip, and we're going to go ahead and scale it up to as close as possible to the size of it being full screen. As you can see, going back and forth, it's about the same size. So now that's at 100%, we're going to go ahead and turn on our mask, and I'm going to add the same shape that I normally do, the rounded corners, and I'm going to feather it. So we're going to do a few different layers. So the first one is going to focus on masking out my body where I'm standing on the couch. And we can go ahead and turn the feathering all the way up to try to blend it in as much as possible. Now we're going to click on our layer, and we're going to make another layer out of it. So we can click on duplicate. Now our second layer, we're going to focus on masking out the string and my hand. Alright, now as you can see, we've taken out my body as well as the string, or as much as we can of the string. Now if you notice, you can still see me in the very top right. So what I did is I just exported this clip right here with all the layers, and then I re-imported the single video clip that I made. Now with that single video clip, all I did is zoom in a little bit, and essentially just cropped out the little bits of me that you could see. Okay, next there's quite a few different effects that we're going to do for this one. There's going to be the wand catching on fire, almost, and lighting the candle with the wand. So again, I did this all in one single take so that I didn't move the camera from hitting start and stop. So I had Allison do the whole motion and pretend that the candle caught on fire. So what we did is I went ahead and used my easy flame and I lit the candle. So now that we're editing it, I'm going to go ahead and take that last chunk of where the candle is lit, and we're going to split at playhead. Alright, so now we have this little section of just the candle being lit. So we're going to go ahead and duplicate his layer, and we're going to hold and drag this over our main video clip. So now we just have our main video clip of the actions and the candle being lit. So we're going to focus on the layer first. We're going to scale it up to 100%. Again, I hit off and full screen back and forth to make sure it's about 100%. Alright, that's looking good. Next we're going to add a mask, and this time I'm going to use the circular effect since it makes sense to me. And we're going to go ahead and crop just around the candle. Now I do want to leave it a little bit bigger because I like the reflection on the wood and I want that to show. And we're going to hide the feathering. Now I'm going to find the moment that I want the candle to be lit, and we can go ahead and trim to left of playhead. So now from this moment on the candle is lit. I'm actually going to make it a little bit bigger, and I'm going to feather a little bit more to blend it in nicely. So now she waves the wand and it's lit. Now I don't want it to do a super hard jump cut, so I am going to fade it in. I'm going to speed it up so that it fades in very quickly, but still, as you can see, it doesn't just do a hard jump cut. Alright, next we're going to add the effect of the wands kind of going out of control and sparking. So next we're going to click on Layer, Overlay, and I downloaded a pack called Sublime Sparks. So I'm going to choose this one on the bottom right, and I'm going to bring this in. So now the first thing I'm going to do is position it where I want it to go, and I'm going to scale it down, and we're going to position it on the tip of the wand, and we're going to trim it so that it goes away after she blows on it. Alright, now obviously the spark isn't following the wand, so we got to fix that. And I'm going to zoom in quite a bit so it makes this next part easier. We're going to start at the beginning, click on the keyframe icon, and what we're going to do is every few frames, it doesn't have to be every single frame, but we're going to go skip ahead just a little bit and reposition so that as she's moving the wand, we have the sparks flying out from the tip of the wand. Alright, now the last thing I'm going to do to help it blend into the scene is choose the screen blending mode instead of just normal, and to me it feels like this brings it nicely into the scene. And to sell it just a little bit more, on the asset store you can download the sound effect lighter, etc. And as you can see inside the lighter package, there's one called Sparkler. So we're going to go ahead and add that to really sell the effect. Alright, last but not least, we have the picture frame effect. So for this one, it is essentially a green screen effect. So I went to the 99-cent store and got some little 8x10 green pieces of paper. I did buy 2 of them just in case I changed my mind on the shade of green I wanted to use, and I went ahead and bought this picture frame. So all I did was open up the picture frame, take out the artwork that was in there, and I cut the green paper to match the dimensions of the picture frame. Now I put it back together with the green screen in there, and there you go, you have your own green screen picture frame. Now after I stopped recording, I did however take off the glass because I realized there were some reflections that I didn't want. So now we have a few different clips. Me and my wife went ahead and filmed the outside portion of it, the part that's going to be shown in the picture frame. So I'm going to bring in a new layer, and I'm going to choose our picture frame video clip. And now we're going to put the video inside the picture frame. So we're going to go ahead and click on the layer. We're going to scroll down to chroma key, and we're going to enable it. Now we're going to change the key color to a green that closely matches our paper, and we're going to fine tune it with the slider above. You can also toggle on and off the show mask if it's easier for you. Now the video is a little bit off, so we're going to go ahead and go to the pan and zoom tab, and I'm just going to zoom in and move around the video clip till it's exactly where I want it to be. And make sure the equal sign is checked so that it doesn't zoom in and out, but it stays constant throughout. And there we go, now it's centered and it looks good. Now we could leave it like this, but I'm going to go ahead and try to blend it into our scene a little bit more. So I'm going to do some adjustments, so click on adjustment. So I'm going to bring up the contrast to help match the indoor environment. And all I'm doing is making it blend into the scene as much as possible. So I'm going to do what looks good to the eye. I'm going to bring down the saturation a little bit, and I'm even going to bring down the brightness just a little bit as well. And to me that looks good. It fits into our scene a little bit more. And that is how I did all the effects for that video. Thanks for watching.